Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be going over a pattern change that could move definitely into fall and bring us some way cooler temperatures than we have been seeing across the central to eastern parts of the United States. So about 2/3 of the United States could be seeing cooler temperatures after this week, and today I'll be showing you why and where that will be, which I already kind of did tell you, but I will go down to specifics of where it will be and where it will be the worst. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into today's video. If y'all do enjoy, consider subscribing and leaving a like down below. And let's go ahead and get into it. So you can see across the west, this is the next 8 to 14 days. Across the west, we're expecting pretty much just really above average temperatures. And really in parts of Maine, we're seeing above average temperatures. And maybe parts of the southeast, we could be seeing above average temperatures. Now the thing is, I do not definitely agree with how north they did go with this. I would say you go this north and that's it. I say we just put Florida into this and maybe parts of southern Georgia. But other than that, I think we should definitely, the National Weather Service should definitely pretty much bring this all over into the below average, or maybe just put Maine into normal. That's just my thoughts. I would definitely show you why I do think that. I'm not just saying that to say it. I actually do have reasoning behind it. But as you can see, what they're saying, what they are definitely indicating, and 1 to 2 weeks out, they are already saying we have a 50-50 chance in some areas of below average temperatures, which is speaking a lot of volumes, because usually we do not see them do this 2 weeks out unless they are very certain. So they're very certain that we're going to see warmer temperatures across the west, because they gave them a 70% chance for that, and they're giving them a 50% chance of below average temperatures 2 weeks out, which is actually they don't do that much, is what I should just say. So I will definitely show you why they're thinking that as we move into the GEFS model. So if some of you don't know what the GEFS model, if you're new to this or if you're just new to my channel, pretty much what this is, everyone does know, I hope, the GFS model. I use it all the time. That is one model. Now, the GEFS model is many GFS models, so it's many runs of the GFS model. So it's the best forecast possible, but it does not usually include real-time precipitation. It does show, like, how much we're going to be getting, but it doesn't show where it will be, or like the storms. So that's usually why I do have to use the GFS. But usually anytime we're doing temperatures, I usually do include the GEFS instead of the GFS, and then the EPS instead of the European. That is the European ensemble, the EPS. So right now you can see we do have these warmer temperatures across a lot of the United States. Some parts of the United States, especially in the northern tier, are already starting to cool down. As you can see from Canada, we do already have our first wave of cool air that will be coming down midweek until later this week. It'll expand later this week into parts of the east. But if we move into tomorrow, on your Tuesday, you can see that we do have this cooler air that does move into parts of the Dakotas and Minnesota, parts of Montana. You are already seeing it coming down your way tomorrow. And you can definitely see by your that we do see a lot of these cool temperatures that do expand. So let's let it load. It's going very slow today. But there we go. Into about your Thursday. Let's go to your Wednesday night and Thursday morning. So see how we do see a lot of these cooler temperatures that are in a lot of the Midwest area. In parts of Nebraska, it's showing 12 below average. So if your day is 84, just to be seeing instead of as your temperatures on one of those days. So that is pretty intense to me for these below average, especially if you're in August. That we usually don't see that much. Now as we get into your Thursday, you can see how that cold air really does expand across a lot of the northern tier of the United States. And you can even see we do have some cooler west that is also coming down from Canada. So we do have two areas where we're seeing these cooler temperatures come down. And you will see throughout Friday, this cooler air does expand into a lot of the United States, especially moving into the northeast and mid-Atlantic areas. You can see 12 degrees below average, which is quite unprecedented if you ask me for August. Now Sunday, this is what will be happening a lot. We have a lot of these warmer temperatures across the west. The very northern parts of the northwest are a little cooler. And you can see across a lot of the Great Lakes regions, the Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic, and to the northeast, we have cooler temperatures. So that's kind of what we are going to be seeing as we move into this fall. Now, you will see how the east, as I scroll through here, the central and eastern United States are going to remain pretty cool for a while. But you can see how this, and sometimes, especially this is saying very early next week, we do see some warmer temperatures do set up across the central United States. We will see our fair share of that in the east too. So in between these colder blasts, we will see our warmer temperatures come back. So we'll have almost something of everything, but the cooler temperatures, you'll definitely be able to tell they're there when they are there. But you can see how those warmer temperatures really do last until mid to late week next week, and you can see by Thursday these cooler temperatures really do move across a lot of the central United States, and you can see how the parts of the southeast are a little cooler too. The northeast are still a little warm as that heat does move out, and you'll see it does move out by the very end of this model run. But you can see by our Friday. Let's go to our Friday afternoon, and you can see how it's in the same areas. We're seeing really below average temperatures in some areas. So this is quite unprecedented for August. Now, a lot of people were predicting this, including me. I was talking to everyone about this in my fall forecast, but you can see how we do have quite a bit of stuff going on across a lot of the central United States when it comes to cooler temperatures, and after this week and to this week, a lot of weeks after. So you can see how this one really does hang around until definitely early September. Now, as you can see to the northwest in parts of Canada, we really don't see any signs of warmer temperatures coming down. So we may remain in these cooler temperatures for a while after this week. Now you can see how these do start to move east. If we look at the pattern from let's go to August 31st, and you can see how it's a little bit more west, but if we go to September 4th, you can see how it did go a little bit more east, and those warmer temperatures did back off, except for parts of Maine. Now, that's what the National Weather Service was talking about. That's going to be later in our week. That's going to be later. That's going to be towards the end of this. So you will be a little bit below average sometimes, but at the very end, we will see some unprecedented, if I would say that, or just warmer temperatures than usual. But mainly, we just see a lot of these cooler temperatures that do move across the central United States and into parts of the eastern United States, and warmer temperatures across the west. So if we were to move on to windy.com, you can see right now we do have really, really warm temperatures, 90s across some of these areas that will be getting cooler. And if we were to move into parts of the Central Plains, 100 degrees. Also into parts of the Southeast, 92 degrees. Parts of the Northeast are a little cool at 70 degrees. That is just the Northeast for you. But if we were to move into the 24th, this is when one of our cooler waves is coming in, cooler blasts is coming in. And you can see, if we were to go, right now it's 4 p.m. If we were to go the same time it is right now, you see we still do have our hundreds across parts of the Central Plains in our first blast of cold air. That was expected. But if we were to move into parts of the Ohio Valley into Mid-Atlantic, Northeast, you can see, look at our temperatures in parts of those areas. 60s, 70s, even parts of North Carolina, 60s and 70s. That is very unprecedented for a lot of the Mid-Atlantic to see 70s and 60s in August. That is, I'm going to tell you, that doesn't happen much. You can see across parts of Maine almost highs of 50s. We're at 62, which is really close, of course, to 50. And it'll remain like that for a while. Now, if we were to move into the 27th, this is when some of our warmer temperatures do come back. But you can see right here how some of these cooler temperatures are already coming across the upper plains that will expand south and east. Now, this is when we get to see our biggest cool down. So this will be a little bit more extensive, and the model run does end here. But if we were to go to around 4 p.m. that day, you can see how in some of these areas we have 70s and 60s. So that's pretty intense. Now, if we were to move into parts of the east, we're in the 80s and 90s, just because that we're seeing one of those little waves of heat after the cooler temperatures do come in. But if we were to go up here into parts of Canada, okay, if we were to go ahead and go up here, let's look around the 24th or sometime around here. Now you can see, let's go to the 21st. You can see in parts of Canada we have these really warm temperatures across here that are moving down here. Now if we were to move into the 28th, the 27th, the 26th, the 25th, the 24th, the 24th is the only warm day that we have in parts of Canada. Now if we were to move into the 25th or the 28th, we just have a lot of cooler temperatures coming down, and there's nothing to really interfere with our cooler temperatures. So we should expect to see a lot of those cooler temperatures just remain across a lot of the United States where we do see them, just because that's how it's going to be. Now, if we were to go look at the GEFS model again, let's go to the 28th. You can see how we did have those warmer temperatures across a lot of the central United States and East Coast. So that's what we're seeing right here. And that cooler wave was moving in across parts of the northern plains. Now, if we were to move in to the 31st, you see those warmer temperatures, cooler temperatures were moving east. And then, of course, by September, it was getting way cooler in a lot of these areas, and we didn't see any of the warmth up there. Maybe, and there was a little bit of below average up there. It's really just a mix of everything up there. So most likely we would see our pattern remain for a while. So that's what we're seeing, because it's looking like it could remain pretty cool for a while after we get into our second cooler wave of just cold air, or I wouldn't say cold, but cooler air coming in, fall-like temperatures coming in. We could be seeing that remain for a while. We just may get that first punch, and that could change a lot. So this does happen a lot of times. When we get that one big one to come in, a lot of it just remains like that, or we get a lot to come after that. So yeah, guys, I hope y'all did enjoy this video. If you did, consider subscribing and leaving a like down below. I